find people who sat here this evening remembering 20, 30 years from now they saw Mark-Roth shoot .299.
And then plus it's just a treat to watch him bowl right now. He's just bowling with so much confidence. He just so much experience. He just knows what to do, and it's like history being made. You know, as you say, they'll look back on this. He wants another re-rack, 2 re-racks in a row in that left lane.
Those are his first 2 of the game, I presume.
Yes, and again, the rule is that he gets 3, and then if there's 10 pins standing at the other end of the lane, he's got to shoot them, even if they're on top of one another.
Didn't it used to be where you got, what, 2, and then you would bring Harry Golden over, the national tournament director, and it would be his choice at that point?
Right, and the tournament committee decided that Goose was getting too much TV exposure, so they changed the rule.
I understand.
No, really. It was an effort to make our telecast go a little faster.
Well, it's gone very quickly here this evening because these professionals have just flat struck. Oh, Roth is down on one knee, and that happens about once a tournament. When he gets down and starts asking for one, normally it's a pretty solid shot.
Look at the loft. Watch the loft. Out there almost to the dots. Out to about the 8th board. Whatever trouble he had with this lane, he sure solved the problem.
I never thought.
To the youngster, what a gutsy little performer this guy is.
Better call upon all the guts he has right now.
All his brothers and sisters down in Dallas rooting him on. Trying to get another strike, and he does. How about it, Mike? It's Butch, Mike, Mark, Martin, Chris, Andy, Pat, Francis, and Susan. I got all 10 of them in. Can you believe that?
And amazingly enough, if he strikes on this next shot, he will have struck 7 out of the first 8 frames, as we see his 5 really quick steps, especially the middle ones. Kind of a pause there. Then he catches up here, long slide, and snaps it at the end. That will release it in. The result was flush in the pot. If he strikes here, he struck 7 out of his first 8 and be behind.
That's kind of depressing.
Well, yeah, but he still keeps himself in the match if he can strike here. The pocket, 7-10, and it stands.
Oh, my goodness. And an ooh and an awe from the crowd here at Thruway Lanes, and a nice round of applause. Well, that was Ron Palumbi Jr.'s demise last week, and it happens once again here this evening.
And again, he's watching it come in light, trying to root out that light hit. When you see a bowler moving to his right, he knows it's light, and he looks at it. One of them would have been bad enough, but both of them just takes all the lifeblood right out of him.
Boy, oh boy. Talk about just watching your whole life pass in front of your eyes. Of course, if he wins here, it's a trip to the Firestone Tournament of Champions and his first PBA title. And don't have to tell anybody what that means. Come on, damn out of there, 10 pin, but it doesn't. So Chris Warren with an open that will be costly in the 8th. Now, the best Warren can shoot is .226. However, Mark-Roth is at a blistering pace at this point.
Roth strikes twice now. It's over entirely.
Right-hand lane has been his delight here this evening.
Still
running one out that time to the left, and he has saved the theatrics here for the title match. To get here, Mark defeated George Branham III, 299 to 202. Then he barely edged out Parker Bohn III, 227, 224. And he's locked in a match now with Chris Warren for the title. Now you can see a little smirk. Not in a derogatory fashion at all. Mark-Roth obviously trying to release a little of the tension. Boy, he's had to bowl under some unbelievable pressure here this evening with the 299 game, and then of course the tough semifinal match. I guess, Mike, no matter how many times you win, it's always difficult, isn't it?
It gets easier though after the first. That first one's always the toughest, I'll tell you. Split screen here. Roth throwing and Roth's reaction.
Well, he was talking Brooklynese there, speaking to those 10 pins at the other end of the lane, and Roth with a possible 259.
Well, see, that almost locks it up because he can open in the 10th to still shoot 227, and the best Chris Warren can get is 226. So Chris Warren has to strike out to hope something disastrous happens to Roth.
Well, you have to start from the very beginning. First shot in the 10th.
The way he hits that right lane, and he chose to finish on the other lane. I just don't understand it.
Inexperience, do you think?
No, but I think it was that he wanted to get his score up on the board first.
Which is a good move.
It is, but you've got to be willing to say, hey, if I got a strike on the 10th frame, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish on my best lane. And I'm just judging from the way he's thrown the ball tonight that the right lane was his best lane.
I think so, too. Obviously, Mark's best lane. Well, these are things you learn, though, right, Mike? I mean, just a youngster out here, only 23 years of age, and he's already made a tremendous impact this summer.
To stay alive. And he does.
A lot of class right now being shown by this youngster from Dallas, Texas. Not going to give up.
No spares. If he gets 2 more strikes, he finishes 10 out of 12 and could lose.
That's an amazing statistic. And basically, when you look at the swishing 7-10, he hit the pocket there.
And I was just adding up our scores. Our players tonight are averaging 230 for the 6 games, and they're going to shoot average over that for these 2 games.
Well, Mark-Roth coming in for 2 games was averaging 263. Might fall a little short this game, but what the heck? 259's not bad. Pros have really treated the spectators here this evening.
Stay alive. Hurry up. Oh, that does it.
Couldn't throw it much better, and there you see Mark. Obviously, he realizes it's all over. And a dejected Chris Warren gave it all he had, just came up a little bit short.
He sure did. I mean, that's an awful strong 215 game, just 2 big donuts right there in the middle, and it's hard to make double pinochle in the 7-10, Denny.
Yeah.
I've been bowling 35 years and made one of those once.
Yeah. Probably in practice too, right?
No, it was in a pro-am.
Jeez. Gave the AMs a thrill, I'm sure. Well, Chris Warren spares it up. Obviously a little disappointed, but offers a congratulatory handshake to a Hall of Famer, Mark-Roth. And I'll guarantee you right now, as they chat, Chris Warren will never forget the first time he bowled Roth on national television. All that's left now is the icing on the cake for Mark-Roth. Boy, it's been his night all the way as he turns around and shows the fans his appreciation for their support. Look at that. They're standing up here in Buffalo.
They do this every year, Denny. They give this standing ovation every year, but boy, it's well deserved this time.
Roth with career title number 33. And with the $16,000 added to this year's earnings, he now goes to a little better than $66,000 and will trail Earl Anthony by only a little more than $12,000 to become the all-time leading money winner in PBA history. Could have done so earlier tonight, though, with a possible $299 game as Mark waiting to look over at the monitor, realizing that he is now the champion.
And if he strikes on this ball, Dan, he's going to wind up with 30 strikes for 3 games. 30 out of 36.
Come on, ball hook a little bit. Ho, 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 ho. Well, they'll never forget this one this evening. And I'll guarantee you that Mark-Roth will watch the replay of this Greater Buffalo Championship for many, many years to come, wondering what happened at a 12th shot in game number 1.